Hello my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. Okay, well, I was kind of pushed into making this video as a response to a video analysis of Goatis, of one of my videos, where I'm talking about hydration with plasma. Now, what can I say about it? It's like going to debate a child, because none of what he's talking about is his understanding, really. It is what he memorized from teachings of Aajonus or Aajonus, depending how if you use American English or English or European pronunciation of names. And I wrote an article about salt and Aajonus or Aajonus, where I am explaining that whatever Aajonus is talking about salt is nonsense, pure nonsense. Now here we have the same nonsense being spewed by Goatis, who basically is a parrot, repeater. None of what he says is his job, his work. It is what he grabbed and what he makes money on by preaching to other people. And I hear that he asks for consultations a lot of money, which to me it's ridiculous, everyone who pays him any money. And again, I don't want to be negative, I don't want to bash a child, but again, I'm being pushed by some of my followers, my readers, my friends, who see through this garbage of science that he's promoting. Well, number one, he attacks the way I look. I agree with him 100%. In the last 3 years, I've aged tremendously. My skin has aged. My mobility, the way I feel didn't, but the skin, yes. But this is to be expected because I stopped experimenting and I went into detox. And as anyone who went through a deep cellular detox has experienced, it's a long process. And I lost hair, a lot of it, parts are bald, and I don't know if I'm still losing or it stopped there. I don't really care. It's a part of what happens when the cells and the tissue is releasing the toxins because body has opportunity to get rid of them. And what made this opportunity was my decision to stop experimenting and stop poisoning myself. Now, yeah, I'm 70 years old, almost. I'll be 70 by the end of the year. But it is not the age. Because just 3 years ago, I looked half of my age. The aging came rapidly, and it is because how do you look and how do you feel when you have flu? Well, I'm in this kind of a state now for 3 years. I'm oozing toxins, and I'm pretty nonchalant about it. I'm not really being strict. I'm not trying to look the best and prove everybody how what I'm saying is correct. Frankly, I don't really care what you think about what I say. I'm exposing the truth as I discover it, because the truth is new to me as well. 20 years ago, I knew nothing of this. I just knew that what I was told in medical school was wrong, but I didn't know in which way. This is all my latest discoveries. And I started drinking water with sea salt 22 years ago, 23 years ago. Okay, and I was looking great, until I started the detox on cellular level. And I explained that the only way you can get into cellular detox is if you stop poisoning your blood. And a lot of this poison comes from plants. my last experiment was on cacao. And it proved to me that it's highly toxic because it really dried me on a cellular level. It dried me up like a prune. All my bones were clicking. And when I stopped eating chocolate regularly, I still eat it, but maybe once a week. I still have potatoes once, twice a week. I shouldn't. Then if I don't have potatoes, I grab nuts because I'm addicted to all the wrong foods because all my life this is what I was eating. But my research and what I promote is something completely different from what I do. But I did it to make sure that things are the way how I start to see them. So I was strict carnivore for 7 months, and my health improved, my looks improved tremendously. People were asking my wife if I had plastic surgery. After 7 months on strict carnivore diet plus hydration with plasma. But now, since I have decided to detoxify, so it could be 3-4 days when I'm really strict and I'm hydrating and cleansing, and I start releasing these toxins, my blood becomes extremely toxic from the toxins that are coming out from my tissue and from my cells. And this toxic blood then creates a toxic load. And all the symptoms, blurred vision, falling of the hair, sweating, bad skin, because skin is one of the blood cleansing organs. So as soon as the toxins are coming out, well, the skin gets bad. Well, I explain all this to you. You basically know all about this. But here, we will focus a little bit more on the lies spewed by Aajonus, and his parrot Goatis, because he's just parrot. He's just repeating. None of what he says is his. And again, I would not even make this video. I don't really care what he says. But I want to help people to wake them up. So, he attacks me that I'm religious and I know about frequencies and this is all bullshit, because of course he absolutely has no clue about anything, and he does not even realize that I am bashing religions. I'm anti-religious. I'm spiritual. Completely two different things, like a day and night. But of course, he is what we call tabula rasa, empty board. He has no knowledge of anything except what he grabbed from Aajonus. And this he repeats like a parrot, nothing new, just repeats it. And if you ask him about salt, he has no clue. So when you say, but is salty, there is saltiness, well, it's sodium iodide. It's not. Because if he would know a little bit about biochemistry, as he claims he is expert, he knows it, right? He would know that sodium iodide, or natrium iodide, is, when in touch with water, is very fragile. It breaks down very rapidly, so it has to be refrigerated. Now, if you would have it in your blood, which is warm, it would not last, it would oxidize instantly. So we don't have really sodium iodide in the blood. We have sodium chloride, same like a seawater. Well, he basically does not understand anything except what he is repeating. This is why it's very difficult for me to bash him, and I was even asked to have a discussion, if I would agree to have a discussion on the video with him. I was asked through a friend that was trying to arrange this, I said, I don't mind, I can, but you know, to me, it's like talking to a child, because there is nothing in there, it's empty board. What can we discuss when there is nothing behind it? He claims that little bit salt put in a water and given to child, it is going to kill the child. Well, he can repeat this nonsense to anyone who will listen to him, and there is plenty of people listening to him. Because it is always easier to accept a lie when you live in a world of lies than accepting the truth. Because truth is completely opposite of everything, so it's very hard for people to get it. And you have to be a slow, already awakened individual to start realizing the truth, and then the truth hits you. You immediately recognize it. I don't have to elaborate on it. You hear something truthful and it right away your eyes open up. You know it is, something is there. You may not understand it fully, but you know that something is there. And he's mentioning that to child, again, this comes from scientific studies, of course, doctors. You give child salt, child will die. Oh, I can tell you how many children I have helped to detoxify when they have skin rashes and they were vomiting and having awful time trying to detoxify from all these friendly things that they have received and the wrong diet that they have been given through formulas. And when they start drinking plasma, they start having the diarrhea, they start sweating, they start vomiting, and bingo, skin start clearing up and they start healing. Now again, he puts videos of people, he blurs them so you don't see, people vomiting when drinking. I don't know what they are drinking, but if they are drinking seawater, well, I don't know how much salt they put or if it's pure seawater. I mentioned first time I tried, I'm a diver. I had seawater in my mouth all the time when I'm free diving. But when I tried to drink it, different situation, because you are not used to the salinity to take it, to drink it. So the throat closes down. You have hard time to swallow it. And if you swallow a lot, once when you can, it slowly, you can work on it a couple of days and then you can swallow it, body gets used to it, but also gives you nausea, want to throw out. Why? Because it's high surplus. I mentioned that the body can be triggered into detox either by poisoning it, so it has to eliminate the poison and this way it starts detoxifying everything else, or by creating surplus. And since it is normally using minerals, if you put more minerals than it needs, it is going to have to eliminate the surplus. This is regularly happening when we are swimming in the seawater. We urinate, and the urine is extremely salty. Try it. And it's a seawater. It's a salt from the sea that you have absorbed, and now you are eliminating it because salinity of the blood is always maintained on approximately 9 grams of salt. But it's not only sodium chloride and potassium chloride and magnesium chloride, and he doesn't even know about the salts which are in a salt. When they asked him, I checked some of the comments to see what people are commenting underneath this video where he's bashing me. And when they asked him, so what is salt? He has nothing to say. He has no clue. Okay? He has no idea that there are 90 minerals in the seawater. And what are salts? He has no idea. He does not know that salt is a compound made of positive and negative element. So one anion and one cation combined together create salts. And you have magnesium salts, you have a whole array of magnesium salt, sulfate, chloride, you have a citrate with citric acid, you have a taurate, We have all kinds of the whole spectrum of salts, just from magnesium. And he does not realize, he says, oh, sodium, natrium, is extremely fragile and explosive, and it would create huge damage, and there is a video. This is all soyence. Yes, there is a truth in soyence, and its truth is being used against us, so we fear salt. We fear sodium chloride. Why do we fear it? Because it's sodium. But sodium chloride is completely it's a different element. I'm destroying now chemistry and physics. And I'm showing you that what we are being told, the tablet of elements, and that hydrogen is supposed to have one electron, one proton, and all of a sudden, if it has one neutron, then it is isotope. It's deuterium. But in any other element, it would be original element, and if it has different amount of neutrons than protons, then it becomes isotope. So soyence is contradicting itself every time it hits the wall where it shows that this is not really true, what is being presented. And I have mentioned many times that gold, if it's made of atoms of gold and it's a heavy metal, yellow in color, but when you heat it up 2000 Celsius for more than 2 minutes, it starts vibrating so fast that it shatters. They say it becomes monoatomic. And as monoatomic, in monoatomic state, it becomes white powder that levitates, has levitational properties. So if the property of atom depends on number of electrons, protons and neutrons, how come that it's a different when you have a big clump of them or when you have them separately or small clumps? I show you that the whole scale, all the tablet is incorrect on colloidal silver, because so-called ionic colloidal silver, when particle is smaller than nanoparticle, the colloidal silver is transparent and it does not react with sun. It doesn't oxidize, which means it does not have all the properties of silver, because silver will oxidize under influence of sun. And unless it goes into size of nanoparticle, which means the grid is complete. It's all about sacred geometry. It's all about grid and vibration. You heat it up, you change vibration, it changes properties. It's not anymore the same, has nothing to do with atomic values. This is all bullshit science, soyence. Now, yes, it sounds really crazy. Who am I? I'm not physicist, I'm not chemist. What's my right to talk about it? It's common sense. Because all the physicists and chemists are polluted through soyence. Okay? What is science? We are discovering science. It's our interpretation of our reality, the way we get to understand it. And as we mature, we are more capable of seeing things for what they are. And we realize that what we have been told in the past, it's baloney. None of it. It's nothing like we have been told. And not that we didn't know that. Of course we did. But we got kidnapped. We had been enslaved. And we have been brainwashed through schooling system, through indoctrination system. And now the higher diploma you think, the more you know. Actually, the higher diploma you have, the more dumbed down you are and you cannot see the truth. This is why I don't like when people call me doctor. I don't want to have the title over my head. I am not the indoctrinated, stupid schmuck. I can see. I use the Google. But unfortunately, majority people don't. We are just trained to listen, memorize, and repeat. And then pride ourselves how great we are, we managed to memorize everything. And Goatis is one of those who are memorizing and repeating. Nothing of his thinking is involved anywhere, because he is incapable of thinking, because otherwise he would not say such a stupid things that he is saying. Give a child a little bit of salt, child will die. Well, did you try? But don't, well, he does not know the difference between table salt, that is sodium chloride, with potassium chloride, your iodide mixed in to poison us, with white powder of aluminum, or American pronunciation, aluminum oxide, or titanium oxide, white powder, all heavy metals, all very toxic, put into the salt, so then when we have it, we feel bad, our blood pressure goes up. You see, salt. No, it's not a salt. It is those additives put into the salt. This is why you cannot buy in many places natural sea salt. Here, neighboring country, Ecuador, when I was there, I could not find natural sea salt. Everything is iodized, everything. Here in Peru, you do not get commercial license to sell salt unless the salt is iodized. Why? You think government is so much concerned about your well-being? Contrary, wants you dead. So everything that is promoted, it's promoted against you. Yes, pure natrium, pure sodium is very unstable, and with contact with air and water, it can explode, and it will explode. But it's completely different element than sodium chloride. Completely different. It should be separate in a tablet of elements, because it's a different frequency, different vibration. But again, Goatis does not understand nothing about vibration. He is laughing at vibration. This is religious nonsense. It's not religious, number one. It has to do all about spirituality, but it has to do with physics, pure physics, which he knows nothing about. He claims how sodium chloride is extremely poisonous. Well, seawater is loaded with it. Our blood is loaded with it. He claims, no, we don't have it. Well, he obviously does not understand. He laughs when I say plasma. I don't know what plasma is. Plasma is water plasma is water in electroconductive state. You can have air in plasma state. When you have a lightning, this is ionized air in plasma state. It's electroconductive air. And water can be electroconductive if you put ions in it, and ions are salts. This is what you find in seawater. He says, oh, body does not have salt. Well, when you sweat, did you lick your sweat? Is it salty? What is it? It is definitely not sodium iodide. It's sodium chloride, most of it. But it's also some potassium chloride in there. There is some magnesium chloride in there. There are all other elements, because our blood plasma, yes, it is not only minerals and water, but the basic plasma of our blood is water and minerals. And then in this plasma, you have then other stuff. You have red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, you have enzymes, you have hormones, you have vitamins, you have all kinds of crap floating in there. But everything is floating in plasma. And plasma, basic plasma, is water and minerals. When you are urinating blood plasma. This all comes from your blood. Why, when you are dehydrated, when you are walking through a Sahara, through desert, there is no water, why would your body release urine when it needs to save plasma? Why would it need to release urine? Because it has to eliminate surplus and toxins. Otherwise, the toxicity of the blood would be increasing and you would start having symptoms of toxic blood, which I mentioned what the symptoms are many times over. Everyone who is familiar with my work will understand what are symptoms of toxic blood. From headache, from inability to concentrate, from blurred vision, from muscle pain, because blood is actually conduit that spreads electrical current through the body. And more toxins you have, more resistors you have that resist this flow of electricity, and this is when you feel lack of energy, this is when you feel also pain, this is when you feel a variety of symptoms of toxic blood, including elevated body temperature. So understanding the body correctly, it's one thing which, again, Goatis have absolutely no idea because, he is charlatan. He only knows to repeat what he have learned from Aajonus, and does not have enough knowledge and capacity or capability of thinking and making something out of the information that he has received. All he can do is repeat. And if you drink very salty water, yes, you are going to vomit because a lot of surplus is there, you are going to take it out. More toxic you are, the more need for vomiting you are going to have because you are going to incorporate the excessive elements with toxicity of the body and body will want to take it out. This is also what causes diarrhea. I'm drinking water with sea salt, plasma, for over 23 years. And I always look great. I was looking young until 3 years ago when I started my detox. It has nothing to do with the amount of plasma or salt I take because I was taking the same amount of salt all these years. It is now the detox that triggers, because I stopped poisoning myself by eating cacao, and of course that was my last experiment that was lasting 6 years. I was eating every day, every evening I had a cacao in form either chocolate or hot chocolate or chocolate cake or chocolate ice cream, but some kind of a cacao every day. I was feeling great, I was looking great, I was hydrating, I was eliminating, I had my diarrhea, everything was fine. But on cellular level, I was closed because of toxicity of plant I was eating. And now when I stopped, the body goes immediately into hydration and throwing the toxins out, polluting my blood, causing my hair loss, causing my bad skin. I go like this and it's bumpy, skin is bumpy. All these toxins are trying to come out. And if I squeeze with my nails, everything gets dark. There is no dust here, I'm in a jungle. I took a shower in the morning. Now again, it's coming out. My body is shooting all these toxins out. And it's huge amount of toxicity that body can tolerate without us being aware of it until detox hits. This is why we may feel great and all of a sudden there is an abrupt change in weather, atmospheric change, and your body constricts squeezes a little bit the cells, some toxins come out, cells close membranes, then your blood toxicity increases, and you go into detox of the blood, toxic blood, and you have all the symptoms of toxic blood and detox, which we call flu. There is no Zumzula involved in there. Now, Zumzula is, this thing here. I cannot mention because my channel will be out. Goatis does not have to worry about saying something that his channel will be finished because, Kabbalah loves his content. Kabbalah loves everyone who follows him. Yeah, follow this guy, he's great. Again, I really don't care. I'm just trying to wake up people, and hopefully some of his followers will have some kugel at least to try. And when you try to drink plasma, don't go and drink seawater, because it's a huge amount of salt. It's 35 grams of salt per liter. Our blood has only 9 grams per liter, which means you will have 25 grams or 20 some grams extra that body will have to shoot out immediately. So don't do that. Start moderately, 6 grams of salt per liter. And when you get used to it, increase to 10 grams and keep it there. And see how your body reacts. And you will see, you will go into detox. But majority of followers of Goatis, they are carnivore and raw carnivore diet. Perfect. This is good diet. Just add some plasma, some water with sea salt or diluted seawater, and you will see the miracle that is going to happen. But also understand that you are going to go first through detox. And depending how toxic you are, that will be a range or severity of the symptoms that you are going to have. And as far as my looks go, don't worry about it. I will rejuvenate again once when my body is cleansed out. It will hydrate again correctly, because now it hydrates and then eliminates because it's cleansing. So the cells are still being dehydrated because as it hydrates, cleanses. So it loses water. It's like this is what it is. So there's no real hydration going on. Very little. More, as less toxins are there, more plasma is staying. But still, every time the cells soak in plasma, they throw up garbage and pollute the blood. I see it because I see how much toxic I have to scrub myself every day. It's amazing how much mud is coming out of my body. Has nothing to do with salt. Yes, salt is helping me to cleanse my body. Without it, I would not cleanse, or I would have to use some toxins to cleanse. Go and have some toxic plant and vomit and have diarrhea and cleanse that way once, twice a year, because I have to watch not to lose too many minerals. And the minerals we cannot get through plants, we can only get them, well, very few comes through plants. Most of them comes through animal diet, because animals cannot survive without being properly mineralized. So when you eat animal product, you do not have to take salt. You can just drink water if you do not want to cleanse. But your body will slowly start increasing the blood plasma levels, and it starts slowly releasing toxins, and your blood will become more toxic, and you will start having constipation, because now your body wants more plasma to be able to clean the blood. So it will be soaking every drop of liquid out from your intestines. And because they are not poisoned with plants, the absorption is very good. So it absorbs and leaves you constipated. So you have either two choices: either drink more plasma, not to be constipated, but then you are going to increase the detox, or poison yourself with some plants. So your absorption is less, so you don't soak in all the plasma, all the water from intestines, and some is staying there, so you have manageable bowels. again, this is way too much information that Goatis could absorb, because again his knowledge is very, very restricted. It's limited only to Aajonus' teaching, because he himself does not know anything. He only knows to repeat what he heard from Aajonus. Nothing else is there. And I just made an article recently because I was asked to comment on some articles of Aajonus about the soul. So I made comments through my article, so you can go and check the articles there. Now, I really don't care what you think about how I look and what you think about the information I'm sharing with you. But as I say, try it. Don't take someone's word for something. Try it, but try it correctly. Don't take now a spoon and take a salt in your mouth and they say, wow, this is awful, I almost died. Of course you're gonna die. This is how Chinese kill themselves, because if they want to die, they have nothing available there, so they take a lot of salt and stuff in their mouth and they die. Too much surplus, too much of anything is gonna kill you. But, you know, I just mentioned this poor fisherman here. 91 days at sea. What was he surviving on? They say, oh, he was eating fish, he was eating birds he can catch with fishing rod. Then nobody mentioned what was he drinking, because they cannot mention that he was drinking seawater. How could he survive drinking seawater? But he's not the only one. There are so many people that have been stranded at sea, forced drinking seawater, and they were in excellent health when they came back to shore. Everyone feels great when swimming at sea. This should tell you something. And for those who think that we don't have salt in our body, well, what is the salinity that comes out from your skin when you are sweating? Why are tears salty? What makes them salty? Sugar? Use a Google. Okay, my friends, I really don't want to waste more time on this. This is ridiculous. I wish you awakening. We are now in very particular time. There will be a lot of confusion. People will be more and more confused. So do not believe what people are saying, observe. And if in doubt, try. Try it on yourself. We learn through our experiences. Nothing else is valid. You have to try. Thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless us all. I love you. Namaste.